This is Jonathan Arif here for Pro Boxing fans here at KSI Swarmz Fight Week with his coach Alexis Demetriades. Alexis, how you doing?
Very well, thank you.
Good. Yeah, big occasion with KSI returning to the ring. Just talk to us how you started when you got to know KSI.
A few years ago, JJ came to my gym. He knows a couple of pro boxers I train, and came and did a few sessions, and then we gelled and got along with each other, and so that's how it all started.
What's the most impressive thing you've seen from KSI this camp?
His work ethic. He won't be outworked by anyone, pro fighter, amateur fighter. He won't be outworked, and his capability of learning, he's learning really, really well.
Obviously, I'm sure you would have seen the Logan Paul fight, so how much do you think he's improved since then? What has he been improving on?
I think the main difference, the main improvements for JJ is that he understands what he's doing and why he's doing it. So instead of just going on the pads and hitting pads and being, everything's amazing, you look great, actually getting in a ring with live fighters trying to kill you, it educates you, it ages you in boxing, it makes you a better fighter, it makes you a seasoned athlete, and that's a huge thing for him. Instead of being told he looks good and everything's going really well, which anyone can, and it's not a bad thing to do that because people need their confidence. But there's also an element for me coming from a live fight gym where he has to be thrown in the deep end, and we're not going to get involved with someone who doesn't want to fight, who doesn't enjoy the sport. JJ loves the sport, he loves competing, he loves sparring, so it's kind of easy work for me.
And how often is he training? Is it twice a day, every day? How's it work?
Yeah, he trains twice a day, 3 days a week with me, and then once a day every other day. So we're doing, I think we've got 12, 13 sessions a week.
KSI said he's going to drown Swarmz. That's what he said up there. What do you think is going to happen with these two fights on Saturday?
I think Swarmz is a dangerous guy. I think he's a heavier man. He can obviously throw a punch. I think he's an unknown quantity, so we've got to be slightly careful with him. He's a dangerous guy because you don't know what you're getting. Sometimes dealing with a seasoned pro boxer who's had 50 amateurs like this kid and who's had 2 wins and 4 losses or 3 losses, I forget. You know where his punches are coming from, so they're easier to deal with. But with someone like Swarmz, you don't know where they're coming from, and there's a danger factor in that. So I think drowning him and outworking him is a good idea.
And 2 fights in one night, how's it going to work? So KSI fighting Swarmz first, then Pineda, I believe his name is.
We should open the show with Swarmz and then close the show with the Mexican. That's what we envision doing. We want to give him the most amount of recovery time in between, just in case they're hard fights. We've fought tournaments before. We fought boxing tournaments, prize fighters in the UK, and we've won them 3 fights in one night. We're not strangers to doing this amount of fights in one night, and we wouldn't sign it and think about doing it if he couldn't do it. So he's sparred the amount of rounds, he's rested, and he's gone again and gone again. So we know he's got that endurance in him. Obviously, 20,000 people in O2 Arena is a little bit different. Your adrenaline, your excitement factor, that all plays a part in fighting. But I think that's why we need this fight, so that we can, shake those cobwebs off and progress a lot faster.
2 more. What was your reaction when Alex Wassabi pulled out, and how did it impact the training?
Yeah, we actually knew he was going to pull out. We thought he was going to pull out. We didn't think he wanted to fight. Wasn't enough promos. The way he handled the face-off, he just didn't seem like he really wanted it. He wasn't being coy or calm. He just didn't really want it. JJ agreed the weight as well. He could have gone 175. I mean, he's light. He's weighing under 180 now. So we've given him some more carbs now, so he can go up a little bit in weight. But the weight's not the issue for him. I think that JJ was quite riled up and wanted it. And I think that maybe Wassabi wants a bit more time training. But he's a tough kid.
Final one, KSI wants Jake Paul next. He won't be looking ahead past Saturday, but what do you think of Jake Paul as a fighter and that matchup for KSI?
Yeah, I think Jake Paul can fight for sure. He can fight. He's got a great team around him, and he can definitely throw a big overhand right, and he can box. He's not like he's a stranger to boxing. I think he matches well with JJ. I think JJ's style, the pressure that you have with JJ, and intelligent pressure, not running into punches. But I think that someone like Jake Paul, who's got that punch and who steps back well and throws the overhand, who can go forward with it, he needs time to prepare that shot. And JJ is a nightmare. He comes forward all the time. He's pressure orientated. But now he's got intelligence behind that. And we sparred over 125 rounds this camp, live rounds, where he's broken his face and he's broken his hand and he's knocked out people and he's he's got hit with big shots and recovered really well. So he's the old, he's living it,
And just finally, when Jake Paul put out that he'd fight KSI for free next, did you have to maybe advise KSI, don't do this, wait, or was he just like, we're not doing that?
Yeah, no, it was us who said we'll put all the money in the pot and the winner takes all. It was actually us that said we'll do that. So we do that with our wages, we do that with our fighters, we do that with JJ will do that. We're so confident in our game, and I think you've got to put your money where your mouth is, and you've got to have that sort of that character in combat. I think if you're going to train someone full time, you have to put your money on them. You can't just train them and step back and get paid. I don't think it's a good way of doing it. I think that the winner takes all is great. I'm sure there's a lot of logistics, but I think Jake Paul said he'd do it now if the money's right. The money's going to be right. It's going to be Wembley Stadium, Jake Paul versus KSI. It's going to be enormous. The money can't not be right. And also they don't like each other, so fuck the money and have a fight. That's how it should go.
Well, Alexis, start of fight week, so long way to go, and we'll catch up later in the week. Cheers.
Appreciate it. Thank you.